I first met the alien woman on a day humanity almost lost its future, and she almost lost her life. Back then, I was nothing special. Just Elias Rowe, a systems technician stationed at Outpost Helios 9, a forgotten research platform orbiting the dead edge of the Perseus Drift. My job was to keep old machines breathing long enough to justify the budget that kept the lights on. No medals. No command rank. Just long shifts, recycled air, and a view of stars that didn't care if we lived or died. The day she arrived, the alarms didn't scream. They whispered. A distortion bloom appeared on the outer sensors, small, unstable, the kind of spatial tear that collapses in seconds. Most ships wouldn't risk it. Whatever came through would be wreckage at best. Instead, a single escape pod tumbled out. I remember watching it spin, hull scarred with burn marks that didn't match any known weapon. Power was gone. Life signs were faint. Protocol said to mark the coordinates, and alert command. I broke protocol. I don't know why. Maybe it was the way the pod kept drifting closer, like it was seeking help. Or maybe I was just tired of being the kind of man who followed rules while the universe burned. I launched alone. The pod's interior was barely holding atmosphere. Inside, curled among fractured restraints, was an alien woman, taller than a human, her skin a pale iridescent silver blue, her features sharp but elegant. Crystalline ridges traced her temples, cracked and bleeding faintly luminescent fluid. She was dying. When I brought her aboard Helios 9, she woke just once. Her eyes, deep violet, layered like facets, locked onto mine. She raised one trembling hand and pressed it against my chest. Not threatening, not pleading, grateful. Then she collapsed. I worked for 18 straight hours. Improvised life support. Cross-species stabilization using half-forbidden xenobiology manuals and instinct. Every time I thought she was gone, her heart, if that's what it was, started again, stronger. When she finally stabilized, I reported everything. By the time command arrived, she was conscious. They wanted to detain her, interrogate her, transfer her to a black site lab. She refused. Not with weapons. Not with threats. She simply looked at them and then at me. She spoke once, her voice resonant and strange, vibrating the air itself. This human saved my life. I am bound. The officers laughed. Until their instruments overloaded. Whatever she was, whoever she was, she wasn't a refugee. She was something powerful. Ancient, maybe. Important. Command backed down. Barely. 2 days later, her people arrived. Ships like living obsidian, unfolding from folded space without distortion. They took her, repaired my station, erased all official records of the incident. Before she left, she came to me. I am Salith, she said. You have altered a thread that cannot be restored. Then she was gone. No promises. No warnings. Just those words. Years passed. Humanity expanded. Faster drives. First alliances. First wars. I transferred planetside, retired from deep space duty, and tried to live a normal life. I told myself the memory of Salith was just that, a strange chapter in a long career. Then, 17 years later, she returned. I was on New Carthage, watching my daughter practice flight maneuvers in the Academy sky lanes, when every screen in the city went dark. The sky rippled, not like a ship arriving, but like reality itself was stepping aside. A colossal structure emerged above the planet. Not a ship, a presence, elegant and terrifying, built from geometry that made my eyes ache. Panic erupted instantly. Defense grids powered up. Fleets scrambled. Politicians screamed into dead channels. Then a single beam of light descended and resolved into her. Salith stood in the Capitol Plaza, unchanged by time. Her ridges were whole now, gleaming with controlled energy. Her posture was regal, but her eyes searched the crowd with unmistakable urgency. She found me. I felt it before she spoke. A pressure in my chest, the echo of a connection I didn't know still existed. "You have aged," she said softly. I swallowed. "You haven't. My kind does not experience time as you do," she replied. Then her expression darkened. "And that is why I have returned." The world seemed to hold its breath. "My people are at war," Salith continued. "A war that began long before your species discovered fire. We believed ourselves eternal, untouchable." She raised one hand, and the sky filled with images, worlds burning, fleets shattering, beings of light torn apart by something vast and merciless. We were wrong. The enemy was not another civilization, she explained. It was a force, a devourer of complexity. It erased cultures not by killing bodies, but by unraveling minds, histories, and meaning itself. They had resisted for millennia. They were losing. "We have searched every known species," Salith said, her voice carrying across the silent city. "For allies, for solutions, for hope." Her gaze never left me, and we found it in you.
Me.
Not humanity's greatest general, not our scientists or leaders, just a man who once ignored protocol. "You saved me when logic said you should not," she said. "You fought death with nothing but will and ingenuity. That is your species' defining trait." The enemy, she revealed, could not comprehend contradiction. It consumed civilizations that followed predictable paths, those bound by rigid logic, static culture, or absolute hierarchy. Humans were chaos, adaptable, emotional,
Stubborn.
capable of irrational courage, poison to the devourer. Her people had studied us in secret. Every war, every invention, every time humanity fell and stood back up stronger. "We need you," Salith said. "All of you." Command objected. Politicians demanded control. Admirals postured. The enemy struck 3 days later. Not with fleets, but with silence. Entire colonies went dark. Not destroyed. Erased. Billions of lives gone without debris or radiation. Just absence. Humanity panicked. Then we organized. I was brought in as a liaison, a bridge between species. Not because I was special, but because Salith trusted me. Together, we planned something unprecedented. Human engineers reworked alien technology in ways her people never would have dared. We introduced randomness into their perfect systems, emotional decision-making into strategic algorithms, art into warfare. We didn't fight the enemy head-on. We confused it. Human pilots flew maneuvers that defied probability. Human soldiers used obsolete weapons when advanced ones failed. Human programmers introduced intentional inefficiencies, loops of creativity the devourer couldn't predict or digest. Every time it adapted, we changed. Every time it learned, we broke the rules again. The war lasted 6 brutal years. By the end, the devourer fractured, unable to process a species that thrived on contradiction. It retreated beyond known space, damaged beyond immediate return. The galaxy was saved. At a cost. Salith's people lost their dominance, their certainty, their sense of superiority. And humanity gained something else. A place. In the final gathering, beneath stars no human had ever seen before, Salith stood beside me once more. "You were not prepared," she said quietly. I nodded. "Neither were you." She smiled, a gesture she had learned from us. "You changed the course of existence," she said. "Once by saving a stranger. Once by being exactly what you are." Her people offered humanity technology beyond imagination. We accepted some, refused others. We chose our own path. As Salith prepared to depart again, she paused. "This time," she said, "it will not be for years." "Good," I replied. "I'm tired of being surprised." Her laughter echoed like starlight. When she vanished into folded space, I looked at the stars, not as distant, uncaring lights, but as places waiting to be challenged. Humanity had been underestimated. By gods. By ancients. By the universe itself. And this time, when the alien woman returned, I was ready. Textbooks called it the Perseus Resolution. Documentaries showed dramatic fleet movements and glowing maps, neat arrows pointing toward victory. Politicians took credit. Admirals gave speeches about preparedness and unity. But that wasn't how it really ended. The real ending was quiet. I stood on the observation deck of New Carthage Orbital, older now, my hair streaked with gray, watching civilian traffic drift between the stars. Children grew up knowing alien faces as neighbors. Trade ships carried both human slang and Salith's people's harmonic language in their comms chatter. The galaxy felt lived in, not conquered.
Shared.
Humanity had not become rulers. That surprised everyone who expected us to grab power once we had it within reach. Instead, we became something stranger and far more unsettling to the old powers. We became unpredictable partners. Where Salith's people planned centuries ahead, humans planned and improvised. Where others sought perfection, we accepted flaws and adapted faster because of them. Where ancient species feared change, we leaned into it like a familiar storm. And the Devourer? Scouts reported echoes at the edge of known space. Wounded, fragmented, wary. It had learned something too. It had learned to fear us. One evening, as the station lights dimmed into artificial dusk, the air beside me shimmered. I didn't reach for an alarm. I already knew. Salith stepped out of folded space, her presence as calm and overwhelming as ever. She wore no armor now, no symbols of rank, only a simple mantle patterned after human constellations. "You didn't announce yourself," I said. "I wanted to see what you would do," she replied. "And you smiled," she said. "That is still unsettling." We stood together, watching ships drift past. "My people are changing," she said after a moment. "Slowly, painfully, but genuinely. You broke something in us that needed to break." "You're welcome," I said. She inclined her head. "You were right. All those years ago, when you ignored protocol. Compassion without certainty is not weakness. It is evolution." She turned to face me fully. "The galaxy is entering an age without absolutes," Salith said. "No eternal guardians. No unquestioned ancients. Only choices." "That scares a lot of people," I said. "It should," she answered. "But it also gives them a chance." She extended her hand, not in command, not in obligation, but in equality. "When the next impossible thing arrives," she said, "will humanity stand?" I took her hand. "We always do," I said. "Usually after we fall down first." Her eyes brightened, reflecting distant stars. Then she stepped back, reality folding around her once more. As she vanished, I didn't feel dread. I felt anticipation. Because the universe had finally learned something important. Humans weren't special because we were the strongest, the smartest, or the oldest. We were special because no matter how hard we were hit, by gods, by monsters, by time itself, we got back on our feet. And next time the alien woman returned, the universe wouldn't be prepared for us.